Hey guys, welcome back to Boars Beef and Baling. Today, it's goat stuff. I don't know if you can see the wrapper back there. Yesterday, I wrapped some corn stalk bales for a customer. I wrapped, there's like 147 I think we had. Um, so I thought I was done wrapping. I ended up having to wrap some. Now we are doing goat stuff, I guess. We're gonna mix a little feed here, mostly grind. We're not mixing a whole lot. I just got some corn and oats I want to mix together. My one ration, actually both my rations, are corn, oats, and then a protein. This is mainly for the mixture with the dried distillers in it. I mixed up the other stuff with the pellet supplement the other day, a couple days ago. So what we got here, I got this tote, and what I ended up doing is cutting a hole in the side, and I just stuck this piece of plastic in there. I shoveled a bunch of feed in there. There's corn. It should be about half and half. What we'll need to do then is dump that into this auger. I don't believe I said much. I found a screen in the other shed, and I put a screen in there. I don't know what it is, 3/8, like a 3/8 screen. So the corn I have is shell corn. I wanted to crack that a little bit, and it's actually working really well. I'm really happy with it. So what I'm going to do is we'll pick that up and set it over the auger here, and the auger will pull it up into the hammer mill. I'm going to walk around. We'll show what all the goats and whatnot. We have to trim some hooves, give some vaccinations. I'm going to try and do my best to show that. Baler update. That baler is still not cleaned out. The other baler is gone with some bad, I don't want to say bad news, but big bill, we'll just say that. So anyways, we're gonna run this through, and I think what I'm gonna end up doing is just running it right back into that tote. So alright, so the current job at hand here. I got this trailer hooked on to the skid loader. So, oof, birds are here. He needs to come out. That's the buck that bred all of these. And then all of them should have their hooves trimmed. I'm not sure if we're going to do all of them today. They need to be, hooves need to be trimmed. The first 10 need to have their vaccinations. We like to vaccinate about a month before they kid, because the idea is that the vaccine will kind of work into the kids. So yeah, we got, I think it's got to be about 15. I think we were talking about He needs to go. We're gonna drag him to the barn. That's what the trailer's for. Um, it's not that far, but if he doesn't cooperate, it turns into quite a job. Um, I'm not 100% sure of what I want to do. I thought about getting them all up front here, locking them all up front, and then grabbing them one at a time and either throwing them into one pen or the other. So I guess we'll see what happens. The problem with larger goats, when you get them in a confined space, they might fight, and they don't spare the viciousness, I guess. So this other side is empty. I'm gonna walk in there right now, I think, and I'll show you what we got going on there. I'll also show the creep feeder that is set up in there, and looks like I got some lamps back there yet. We'll probably pull them out just for just so they don't get damaged. Yeah, so we'll head in the barn. I'll show that, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna go ahead and start or if I wait a little while. Mom's kind of hung up, and it's kind of a two-person job at times. So naughty goat. So remember when I said that this pen was goat proof? Well, it's not so much the case. So we have our, let's see, there's 5 in here, 4 with kids, and then that red one there, and that troublemaker, and those. Sometimes it's just kind of fun to watch them. Oh, look out. She's a bully. But anyways, so we could use some bedding in here. But we got these in here. Right now I hung one of those wall feeders up for hay. They also need some hay, it looks like. But I have a plan. I'm actually gonna build a manger for in here. I need something that will work good with the baleage and also with the hay. And the idea is we're gonna try and not make a huge mess on the floor. So other couple of them are starting to sneak out on me a little bit, but not terribly. This place also needs to get cleaned up. There's the table I will be using. That's what I use to trim hooves. I got like a headpiece there that slides in, and then you put the goat on there, and you can like strap the goat in, I guess, and then you can use it to trim hooves without being on the ground. So this is my little creep feeder. In the corner there's a hole that's kind of notched out, and basically the idea is the kid fits through and the mom doesn't. That's your big thing. And believe me, large goats can fit through small spaces even if you think they can't. I got the feed in there, which is just a pellet feed. It's an 18% kids starter, and yeah, it works good. It's just a small area here, and the problem I'm having is this panel, which was left over from something. It wasn't long enough the lengthway, if that makes any sense. So we actually tipped it up so the squares are larger going up and down, and that's where they're starting to crawl through on me. They're not doing too bad. I try and keep these boarded, kind of keep that against there, then they won't crawl through too terribly much. And then I'm having a little trouble over here. I should look. I had a few too many goats with the buck this morning. Um, looks pretty good. I have no idea how they managed to get over there. I can't imagine they slid through that gate, but you never know. Um, I actually went through. I got them straightened out again, I believe, and I actually marked all the goats in that pen. They all got a orange chalk mark on them, and that way, hopefully, I can keep them straightened out if it does happen again. Um, I should have all the numbers written down, and I haven't gotten there yet. We should really do it, but yeah, it is what it is. Oh, you guys, you just want to chew on me. So yeah, I think I'm gonna take a little bit of a break, and then I think we're gonna start trimming some hooves. Hey guys, welcome to my first ever voiceover. Um, so yeah, you just saw me getting my camera situated on my head. Um, so yeah, first thing I'd like to say is I was planning on explaining what's all going on here in great detail. Uh, However, I didn't realize how fast I actually trim hooves. um, as you can see, I'm cutting right along here, and I've tried a couple times to just explain what's going on, and it's hard because I'm cruising right along here. But anyways, my plan is uh, one of my soon upcoming videos, possibly the next one or the one after the next one, is going to be a tutorial on trimming hooves and how to do so, and I'm going to try and get all the correct terms and whatnot, so I sound like I know what I'm talking about. Um, so basically, what's going on here is you're basically just trimming them down. The hoof wall is um, basically the part that I'm actually cutting, not the actual hoof itself. Um, there's an inner and an outer part. Basically, you just cut the outer part. Like I said, I'm going to get all the terms, all the terminology and all that. Um, and I don't know if I probably use this again and just slow it down and possibly, I don't know, we're going to figure something out. Um, I am upset that the lighting on this video kind of sucks. Um, but it is what it is. So, I'm actually able to use both of my hands. I'm blessed with that ability that actually I write left-handed, but I do a lot of things with my right hand. And when it comes to trimming hooves, I'm so lucky that I'm able to just kind of flip my hands around and I can go from one side to the next. Um, so as you can see there, she kind of fought me a little bit. Um, Sometimes you just got to teach them who's boss in a way. And I try not to let go. Um, but it is what it is. Um, See, this is kind of a thing that
you get really good at. Um, I believe my record for a day, I was trying to remember, I believe it was 46, and they were actually dairy goats. Um, Someone I knew actually hired me to trim hooves, and I got 46 done all by myself, no help at all. I had to catch them all and everything, and I got 46 done. So this vaccine I'm giving them is a C, D, and T. Um, I got to do my research on it again. It's something that I just do, and you've always done it, and sometimes you can't really remember why you're giving it. Um, the T is tetanus. Um, the other things are kind of like an overeating vaccine. I will get the details. We're going to go ahead and throw it in the next uh, goat series video. We'll call it a goat series video. We're going to try and get all this done in nice detail. So, um, yeah, like I said, you do this enough, you get really good at it. This table I'm using is actually homemade. My grandpa actually built this for us. Um, one of my first years, and it works good. I would like to have a uh, working chute that, like a larger scale working chute. I'm doing some thinking, possibly maybe a little remodeling. I'm not sure. I guess we'll see how the winter goes. Possibly putting an area in our barn for this particular job. Um, so what I like to do, I trim hooves about twice a year. Um, Plan is before they go to pasture, and then when they come off of pasture in the fall. And that way, I'm not trying to wrangle them up in the pasture, or most of the time, in a way, I got them caught. They're either on the trailer or, uh, that's usually what it is. I got them on the trailer. We pull them off one at a time. So these, I ended up getting them moved. I needed to get them moved, and I didn't have the time to do this, so we just moved them in. Um, what I actually did is sorted them um, by how mean they were. If they were on the meaner side or on the uh, say weaker side. But if you know anything about goats, you'll understand what I mean. Some will fight more than others. I actually I kind of sorted them out and got them in that front pen area, and then I pulled them in one at a time, and that actually worked pretty good. But it is what it is. This job is probably the only thing holding me back from expanding, other than the lack of winter space. Um, but it is what it is. So, yeah, I hope you found this kind of interesting. And like I said, stay tuned for a in-depth tutorial video coming very soon.
Okay, guys, we got it all done. All 15 of them in here. We have them separated um, by level of bulliness. Is that a word? Bulliness. Um, so on this side, we have the mean ones. And on this side, we have the not so mean ones. And what I mean by that is, if I were to put one from this side with one from that side, the one from this side would beat the snot out of the one from that side. In a small confined area, eventually they'd get along, but the other thing is when you feed them, this side is going to tend to push this side out, so this side may not get as much feed as this side. If that makes any sense. Any goat people out there, they'll understand what I mean. So I got some video from my head camera, so we'll see what that looks like. Hopefully it turns out good. Obviously if it did, you've seen it already. Otherwise I'll have to do something else, but anyways, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I hope to see you next time.